Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Looks like we have a little bit of a formatting issue because Molly was late and I wasn't able to set things up correctly. But everyone's where they need to be. So there's that. Let's go ahead and get.
There you go.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, no. Oh.
Oh, I locked it. All right, guys. A little hiccup. Kind of getting things rushed together here. We're ready to go. So, welcome back to Dire Roll Neosoma. I hope everybody had a good break and enjoyed their weekend. I know I did. We had a blast.
Yes, sir.
And this weird how everyone's kind of in letterbox right now, that'll be fixed for next week. If you're listening to this and not watching it, you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, and that's fine. Where we last left off, things went incredibly south. You guys were at the hole in the ground that is the headquarters of the JCC, which is formerly the Joliet Correctional, the Joliet County Correctional Facility. In my notes. It comes out the JCC. That's all you need to know. And you guys were rescuing.
I think you're working for the word center, by the way.
Am I? Probably. I don't know.
Joliet Correctional Center.
That's it. He found it. And in trying to rescue a second group of people, supposedly some of your people might have been there, Roy and Hector ran into Corso, the leader of the JCC, and he killed Roy, and Hector's fate is unknown.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Oh, I need to clear this chat. There we go. Molly, aka Chuck, should be joining us at some point. So for now, we're gonna carry on with Big Joe and Bill. And so go ahead, guys. Where we last left you guys, you were at the top of the lift. Bill, you rode it up because you're just like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I was compelled.
And what?
There was no sass on that at all. Yeah, I was compelled.
All right, guys, take it away.
All right. So down below, from what I remember last time, we gave the folks that came up the remaining motorcycles that were not being used as projectiles by Big Joe.
Right.
And they took off.
They did.
And Pierre went down after them. We did see Pierre, if I'm not mistaken.
Pierre was last seen at the bottom of the lift.
Transforming into his cowboy.
Yeah, he transformed into a cowboy and he was shooting the place up. As you do.
Okay, so do we see Big Joe is keeping an eye out, so as he's looking down, other than the once machine gun nest that is now kind of in flames, do we see like a bunch of people scurrying about? Is there kind of a large commotion down there?
Yeah, you definitely see a lot of movement.
And it's hard to note.
It's hard to pick out individuals, but there's definitely movement.
And Big Joe, I just want to point out that you say we, but it's probably just you because Bill, as soon as he's up the elevator, he probably goes within cover, but like beyond the horizon, like he's behind a box or whatever, catching his breath for what you know about.
Yep, no, that's all right. We're a team. We're into this together, even though you're not right there.
The royal we.
So Big Joe's gonna continue to kind of like scan, looking for signs of Roy and or Hector, to try and spot them and then provide cover should that come about.
Okay. Bill, what are you doing?
Currently evaluating my options as I'm laying behind a box with a tactical retreat. Obviously, I'm not being a coward. I'm just catching my breath and getting ready to go back into the firefight. That's
Definitely.
obviously what I'm trying to point.
Obviously.
Yeah. So for now, until the situation change, Bill's just gonna be.
All right. Well, as you guys are sitting there at the ready, you can still hear the sound of 2 6-shooters ringing off. It doesn't seem like he ever needs to reload.
Movie guns, nice.
Yeah. And you also hear this loud metal clanking sound behind you. And you turn to see a Korathi tunnel has been opened. Out pops another Korathi. Yes. Yes.
What does this Colorati look like?
That's a good question. What does this Korathi look like?
This Kolrathi has a vest, like a
Like a pinstripe vest?
like a pinstripe vest with no shirt underneath.
Classy.
Pocket watch chain hanging from the pocket, obviously, and a newsboy cap. And that's about all you could see of him for now. I mean, clothing-wise, because he just halfway popped up. He's got exceptionally long, like wider than his shoulder width ears, and he's kind of a dusky, swampy green color in skin tone. And one eye is slightly milkier than the other one.
So hearing this sound behind him, Big Joe just kind of like whips his big cowman head around, expecting the worst, but then seeing a small Kalrathi gentleman poking up, he turns kind of quizzically from this, like, surprised, almost like I'm about to get ready to have to scrap someone, which, I mean, with Big Joe is what, with hugs. And then he just kind of softens, says, you one of Pierre's friend? If so, you are somewhat late, although a welcome addition.
I mean, yeah. I know Pierre. Who are you?
Well,
Why are you here? What's the deal? What's going on? What's your name?
Most folks,
Who's your uncle?
at least,
Where you from?
if you'd give me a moment to answer
What
at
you
least
doing?
one of your questions. It's hard to answer your questions as you keep asking.
My apologies. Go ahead.
The human folks like to call me Big Joe, as they have a hard time pronouncing my real name. But we are here with the help of Pierre in order to find some of our friends that have been.
You's the tall belts he was going to talk to, and I guess help.
I would say so. I mean, I am rather tall. I am wearing a belt, so that does check out.
Yeah, okay. Well, lucky yous. Lucky me. I'm in the right place after all. All right, so what's going on? What's the deal? What's the plan of action? What are we doing? Who we killing? Who we fighting? Who we tying up? Who we rescuing? I don't even know what's going on. Fill me in.
Right, well, some of our members and Pierre are down in this hole here, trying to rescue some more folks. There is a whole bunch of shooting.
All right, shooting hole. Folks getting rescued. Got it. Okay.
All right. Well, we rescued some of them. They're on their way back to the barony. Right now we're just waiting for our folks to show back up so that we can provide cover as they make the Darren escape.
Oh, Darren. Oh, now you're talking my language, big guy.
They went down the lift to the left, and
Down-
that's all Bill had.
Down the lift to the left. Okay. So, wait, what are they doing again? They're in escape. I got that. What else? Pierre's down there.
Yep. He is shooting up the place.
Yep.
We are trying to rescue some common folks from these people that cannibals, which is a bad thing apparently.
Cannibals?
Yes, they eat their own kin. It's not appropriate for you.
I mean, okay. Yeah, okay. All right, cannibals, Pierre, down the lift to the left, daring rescue. Sounds good. Let's go.
I would, but unfortunately, I am much too big for the lift to hold me, so I am reluctantly forced to stay up here.
Oh, okay. No, that's because the slightly shorter high belts, I'm supposing they didn't necessarily think to engineer it for the higher belt that you represent. Let's take a look, shall we? And he'll pop all the way up out of the hole with a tool bag and just walk over to the lift and start looking at it, seeing what he can do to it.
All right, the lift is at that moment starting to come up. You guys can hear all the chains turning and all that.
See, I fixed it already.
Well, you are quite remarkable, friend. I am glad we are on our side, and I'm going to take a look over this ledge here to make sure that our friends are being safe, at least.
All right. Yeah. So as it starts to make its climb, you guys look over the lift. In the middle of it is this small, big-eared cowboy with like ridiculously smoking barrels, surrounded by a half dozen corpses. None of which you recognize. They all have that Mad Max kind of vibe. And when it finally comes to the top, he twirls his guns and holsters them, and he turns and he's like, "We better skedaddle."
Both Raw and Hector are down there, so I do not think we should be leaving so quickly.
He starts to step off the lift, and as he does, these pink kind of bursts of dust kind of hit each of his clothes as he steps, and they start transforming in what you would expect a normal Kalrathi to wear, which is not very extravagant. Big Joe, you kind of recognize that his magic is kind of failing, as he kind of and by the time he's completely off the lift, he just looks like a normal Kalrathi with a big hat. And he's like, "My friends, I am out of ammunition, and your friends have not returned, and I have not heard anything. We must leave. There are so many people here."
Well, yeah, but there are also our friends here, so I find it really hard to leave our friends behind.
Hey, yo, if Pete says it's time to go, it's time to go. There ain't nothing left here.
Well, I mean, there's our friends left here. Am I not being clear about this? Or?
But you said cannibals. I'm assuming they ate them.
You can see this Big Joe just has like the wheels are turning in his head, like, yeah. Oh crap, like that wasn't a possibility till now.
And Bill's gonna add is like, "Big Joe, I think I'm on your side. I kind of want to wait for them, but if we get caught, there's no rescue."
Yeah, and they's gonna eat you too. Well, at least you, and he'll point at Bill. You, Joe. I mean, I don't know if they eat you higher belts, but
well, they ought to try to eat me, so I think I am on the menu.
Oh well then.
Okay, Big Joe's gonna look over the edge again, just try to like do a quick scan to see like that, like maybe we're gonna see like smoke, and from the smoke, Roy's gonna come out carrying Hector, like very like action starry. So I don't know if that's a notice roll. I guess this isn't a roll situation.
No, it's not. When both you and I know the outcome, we don't need to roll.
Yeah. but after taking a couple of seconds to just for survey, Bill, do you think we should leave? Oh, I know we could rescue, come back if they're not. And Big Joe is very nervous, or noticeably like breaking
Shaking.
down. Like, there's a reason he's not the leader.
Bill is gonna like jump from behind the boxes, and he's gonna run to the edge toward the Big Joe. As he gets close to the edge and he thinks he can get shot at, he goes like on the ground prone, and he crawls up bravely, not so much brave, but anyway, he crawls up bravely to Big Joe, and he goes literally like without even peeking over the edge, he goes like, Hector, Roy, and when nothing comes out, he's like, honestly, I'm not sure they're coming back. We should really go.
See?
Well, I mean, what would Roy do? What would Chuck do in this situation? I know. Yeah, Pierre, you said we should go. I mean, you've been pretty helpful so far. Have your friend here, not Pierre. Yeah, maybe we should go and then rescue them later. At least now we have the flying things that don't want to eat us. All right, I guess that's our plan. Joe's
Yes.
gonna start to kind of like.
We can come back with bigger firepower, safer firepower.
I like the way this guy thinks. Bigger, bangier guns.
It is decided to the whatever that is.
Barony.
Oh, he's gesturing to your vehicle
Yeah.
that's parked some ways away. All right, so you guys head over to the truck and the trailer, and you quickly mount up and you take off towards the barony.
Not necessarily needing to roleplay any of it out, just I'm going to be peppering Pierre with questions and fanboyisms as we go.
Yeah, he stays in character, and he treats you as one of his many admirers, and he's more than eager to regale his exploits.
I was just trying to not step on the situation.
All right. Also, in between this newcomer talking to Pierre and fanboying out, Big Joe is also asking questions like, "Where was the last time you saw them? Who were they with? What did you see? What kind of like resistance? How many did you kill? Wow, you did some like what kind of magic?" Then he kind of transforms into the fanboying like kind of magic, and then like you were really impressive, but then kind of goes back to the but seriously, like we're our friends.
Yeah.
And Bill's like that at the driving wheel of the car. Kind of in shock.
Right.
Also, a new friend of Pierre's. What is it we should
Yo.
call you?
Oh, my apologies. That's how discourteous of me. And he'll reach up a very meaty Kolrathi paw, like big, burly, bony, like knuckly hands, but it's clearly nothing to Joe. My all the ladies call me Tommy Tutos.
Is it because you have two toes?
I don't like to talk about it, okay? No, I'm kidding. No, it's actually no. I only got two toes on my left foot. There was it was an incident. There was some explosives involved and some running and screaming. Not by me, of course. But yeah, I valiantly lost my toes. Well, some of them. I still got two. Obviously, otherwise they'd call me Tommy Foot with no toes. It just doesn't roll off the tongue, I guess.
Pierre nods, like, yeah, this checks out.
Well,
I mean, I suppose 3 toes would have worked if I had managed to save one, but 4 or only 1, I would have to come up with something different. It's alliteration and all that.
Alliteration is very important.
Yes, no, absolutely. I actually I picked that up from you.
perhaps I should look into this alliteration more often.
It's a highly effective means of communication. Always get your point across. No subtlety needed. And you, other less high belt. What's your name?
And then he kind of snaps back to reality, being brought into the conversation. He's gonna say, "I'm Bill Bark. I sell vacuum."
See, alliteration. This guy knows the deal. You sell vacuums?
Well, actually, you're gonna be a little bit sad. My real name is William Barker.
No,
But
no,
everybody
no,
called
no,
me
no.
Bill Barker.
Yeah, no. That was absolutely the right decision to go with Bill instead of William, because you slid right into that alliteration. It was as my good friend Pete here would say, magnifique.
Maybe I should call myself Big Bo then.
Big bow. Big. Oh, I can see that working. Does anyone call you?
I did not even see your message until after I said that.
Does anyone call you Bo?
No, that is not something they call me.
Well,
they call me Big.
You
They call me Big Joe.
Yeah, you got to start getting them to call you Bo, because then it works. I mean, otherwise, it's just like I could go around and say, "Hey, my name's." I don't even know what my name would be because I don't answer any other name other than Tommy. But you get where I'm going with this.
Well, I mean, it's already not my name. Like they call me Big Joe, I assume because I am big and I'm a Joe lot.
Oh, okay. A double descriptive, which was also an alliteration. I didn't intend that one. I like it.
So when it comes to names, I'm kind of confused. I mean, it's just odd being called the name that is not your name but has become your name. It's like a nickname.
It's a nick. See, and they.
Yeah,
see,
it's a nickname. You understand?
Yeah. See, he gets it. You'll get it. You'll get it, big guy. I got faith in you.
I have a lot to, as he's running, think about.
Look over at Bill. Why do you make him run? That just seems cruel.
Bill will slow down because he didn't realize, I'm just driving at normal speed. I'm used to this speed. Why I did not think of Big Joe running slows down.
Jeez. No respect, I tell you.
And Bill's gonna, he keeps an eye on the road. Well, whatever we're driving on, whether it's a road or a dirt path or whatever. And he's gonna turn to Big Joe and say, well, Big Joe, I picked up Big Joe because that's what everybody called you. But if you would rather pick your own name, I'm sure we could adapt.
Well, I mean, I tried to tell. When I first met Chuck, I told him my real name, and I mean that didn't go over so well with the pronunciation.
What's your real name?
Oh wow! I guess it's in English it translates to the Storm Dragon, but my name is Mekvo Cogblon.
What? What's up? What? What? One more time?
It's Mekvo Cogblon.
TM.
Mekvokaglon?
Blon, with a B, much
Me-
like Big Joe. Blon, Mekvo,
Mekvokablon.
sure, that's close.
Cog.
Like something. Yeah, well,
Cogblon. Okay,
yeah.
okay. No, Big Joe works much better.
Yeah, I get that.
But Storm Dragon.
That is.
Man,
My
whoever came
father
up with
had-
that name is a real asshole.
My father had high hopes for me in our tribe, so he thought when he saw my affinity for electricity, he thought it was rather fitting.
No, it's a beautiful name. I would stick with Big Joe. But I mean, just be personally. You know. Don't take my word for it.
You are Tommy Two Toes, which is just a fun name to say. I must agree.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you appreciate that.
So I guess I will stick with Big Joe for now. It rolls off the tongue,
It's
as you
a
say.
good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
In a situation of stress, it does come out easier without having to think about the pronunciation.
Man, I can only imagine you as a little Joe getting into trouble and your mom having to yell that name. That's whoever came up with that name. I mean,
It is
like
a tongue
I said,
twister.
It's beautiful, but wow.
I feel personally attacked.
I mean, it looks like the name comes off of a fantasy game of some sort.
It's from a myth in our culture of this very powerful creature, a storm dragon, obviously by as I've said, that it's kind of tried to rule the world on several occasions. I mean, our world, not this world, but like where we are from.
And in your mythology, did a bunch of very amazing heroes try to...
What have you done, PR?
I do not know. It was just my father idolized the dragon, but he didn't really talk too much about it. It was he did not like how I turned out. Let's just leave it at that. So I am not living up to the name.
Oh no, I get. Yeah, that's. Don't we all know that one? Yeah.
I would say you might not live up to the names that your father taught would give you, but seeing you in action, Big Joe, I think you live up to the name in my. You might not be using the
Big
power.
Joe or Mekvo Cogblon?
Well, Big Joe, the Storm Dragon.
Oh well. And you can see like a single tear kind of roll down. That is the nicest thing anyone's said to me in a long while. So I thank you, Bill.
That's precious.
You cannot shut up.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing somebody has ever told me. However, I really appreciate you, but I would not make a good father figure. Just in case it goes to that, especially given the size people would not believe.
I understand. I mean, I look up to most of you folks as kind of like a role model. I mean, as from what I can tell, most of you are older than I am, or at least seem to be older than I am.
That's only physically.
So point of order, question, if you will. I thought time was physical. Thought age was a physical thing.
Well, I could get into it, but there's mental, there's physical. People act older than they are, act younger than they are. That's the mental age.
Oh, okay.
And of course, there's the physical age that's just straight up. Unless you know somebody who can somehow grow younger, I'd like to learn about that.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
They'd be as cute as a button, I imagine.
Yeah, Tommy and Pierre sure look like. All right, don't
Was
touch
that
that
a
one.
reference, PR?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got that reference.
I just hope that when I reach 80 years old in a couple of years, I will be able to finally be an adult in my society.
What?
Jolats, we don't get recognized as adults until we reach eighth decade, and I got a couple more years left till that. I'm only 73, so.
Dear Lord, as a human,
Oh, you're.
ignoring the whole nature going cataclysmic type of deal, I was not even expected to live to 80. And if I did, I would be long retired with like probably a long beard and whatnot. Like,
Wait, you're not older than 80?
no,
But Roy and Hector are, right? Like,
no.
What?
I don't understand. I thought you're also knowledgeable.
Oh,
You're not talking. You're not talking, Bill.
oh, sorry. I said we are adults, but adults humans. Like our age to be considered young adult is 18, and I believe adult is like 20, 21 years
Oh, I thought y'all aged at the same rate as us. Well, this is certainly embarrassing. I still have much to learn, it seems.
Pierre's like, do you mean to say I killed a whole bunch of babies back there?
Quick,
It is.
just brief question. Kolrathi age at a similar rate to Jolites?
Yeah, all the otherworld species live incredibly
Okay,
long times.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just, please continue. I'm just curious.
Kolrathi probably reached their physical maturity much earlier than a Jolite or human, just because they don't have a whole lot of physical to get.
What are you trying to say there, pal?
What are you trying to say, disembodied voice?
Now see here, God. That's my high concept, by the way.
Yeah, so what? I'm kind of with you here, big guy. Pete, I think you might have killed a bunch of babies. We'll keep this. We'll keep this one on the hush hush, though. You know, I got your back, man. No one has to know.
Bill considers correcting the situation, decides to just be, nah, I'm gonna focus on drive.
That's a smart move. I know. No one has to know. So, I thought there was more views. I was led to believe there's more views.
Well, we have one of our members back at this barony. They were too injured to come with us.
Okay.
And then we just left two of our members in the hole.
Wait, why would you do that?
I don't know at this point, Tommy. I thought it was for the best. Apparently, I am reconsidering my options.
No, it's they went to try and save more humans. We haven't heard from them in forever. I know Roy would not have wanted us to risk ourselves. And by going back to the barony with the people we already saved, we could come back with bigger, stronger guns, come back and take over.
Right. That was down the lift to the left.
Yes.
Big escape, but then we didn't do the big escape because we're coming back with the bigger, bangier guns. Got it. I'm on. We're same page. Good. Moving forward. I personally, I feel like I just slightly channeled a certain United States president there, and I didn't intend to. I apologize. I wasn't meaning for this character to be that. So,
Okay.
although I'm reconsidering it now.
Moving on.
So, as we arrive back at the barony.
ESO, no one died. We're just down to 4.
I mean, Roy died.
Okay, Roy died.
The character.
No, the question was who died IRL.
IRL Neosoma Roy died.
Now that's
Okay.
just gonna get confusing.
So, as we arrive back at the barony,
Yes. You arrive back at the barony. Waiting for you just outside, just on the outskirts, is Debbie Shane, with her dirt bike. The rest of the ones that you rescued have already moved it, but she flags you guys down as you drive up.
Well, obviously, I'm gonna stop by our level, essentially.
Okay. She approaches you guys and she says, I just wanted to reiterate my thanks, and I wanted to make sure you guys got out of there okay."
At that moment, go ahead, Big Joe.
go ahead.
At that moment, Bill kind of, becomes a little bit more sullen. He was already sullen, but just kind of shoulder drops a little, and he goes like, "Well, not all of us quite."
She's very obviously physically, sullen by
I'm
that.
good.
And she says, "Some of yours didn't make it out?"
We haven't heard from them. They went against the other half of the prison. There was some commotion, but we haven't heard from them again. And we decided to leave, come back, regroup with the crowd here. And hopefully, I'm sure you would be on board. We could go back with bigger, stronger guns.
Bigger,
maybe-
bangier guns.
Fair enough.
Technical term.
And try to rescue that missing half as well as our friend.
I'll talk to the Baron tomorrow. At this point, it's probably like evening, so things in the camp would be winding down, and you guys can hear there's a bit of commotion regarding the returning people that you rescued.
Yes, perhaps it is best for us to regroup. I'm certain that those of you that were captured down there probably want a good meal, get a good night's sleep.
Definitely.
But I would really prefer if tomorrow we could return and enact as soon as possible, lest we risk our friend's fate being eaten by these cannibals.
I'm on Big Joe's side here. Time is of the essence, but I do agree that a rest is advisable.
Certainly, I agree. I definitely need some sleep. But when I was down there, I guess one of you that got left behind called me by name, and I'm just curious. You knew me because someone in the barony?
Yes.
So you came all the way to probably the most dangerous place in what's left of Illinois to come find me?
Well, I'm not going to go into all the details, but essentially, we need the barony's help to save the group we came up with. We got ambushed, and they got basically taken from us by... What's their name again, Jacob? Sorry, I'm breaking character, but what's their name? The people that took the survivors from our...
The Dutuoa?
Yeah, the Dutuawa... whatever the lake thing is.
The Chicago Isles?
Yeah, Chicago Isles. So they took our group, and we need the barony's help to take them. We don't have, especially now, we don't have the firepower to take them over. So we needed your help because people here are torn, and you're a voice of reason amongst this group of people. And I believe you're an advocate of using the blimp as a flying fortress as opposed to an hotel, I guess. I don't know what the other... I don't remember what the other use they wanted to do of.
I see. You must have talked to the Baron. No, I'm
Yes.
I'm in favor of taking the Blimp City to Montana. The Baron wants to attack the Chicago Isles.
Yes, well, we kind of want to do both. I'm assuming that you are talking about taking it to the Aralon?
Aralon, yeah. You guys know of it.
Yeah, we found a video recording back in Michigan, I want to say, about it.
Yes, that's exactly where I want to go. If the message in the recording holds truth, then we don't have to live in this constantly moving caravan. We can just settle down.
Well, we could discuss it more tomorrow, but we could enact both the Baron's plan and your plan at the same, while also ensuring the safety of as many people as possible. Just to give you what I'm having in my mind right now, fortified one of the blimp, go over and test it out in the hole to rescue the people that are left there. If it works out, that means it's ready to go. We rescue our people over at the Isle, and then we go to Montana.
Okay, let me sleep on all this information. It's been a while since I had a full night's sleep, so I'm gonna go find my trailer, and we can talk in the morning.
Very well.
Again, I appreciate the rescue. You have no idea. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Before you go, is there a place where we could?
Well, you guys
sleep?
have your
Is
own
there-
trailer. I mean, that's kind of, this place doesn't have an inn.
No, not an inn, but I forgot about the trailer. You're
Yeah,
right,
yeah, you
and
guys-
we don't have any more ammo, so it's probably pretty spacious.
That's right. You lost loaded for bear. Okay, so you guys are gonna turn in for the evening. Iso, Roy is playing a new character named Tommy Two Toes. I will have a new plaque for him after the intermission. Everything kind of got rushed together at the end there, and I wasn't able to get a new plaque. So he'll have that either in the second half or at least next week. Okay. So you guys just turn in for the night?
Yep.
All right. Anyone who's got a renamed mild consequence can lose it. And if anyone has any renamed consequences that can go and starting from the least severe consequence, you can bump it down to the next one.
If I have a mild consequence that isn't renamed, does it now become renamed?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I think this is going to be the first session where I don't have any consequences. Mine is the first one.
All right, I'll fix that. No problem.
No, I'm keeping all my tokens. You can't compel me.
I don't have to. I just have to shoot you.
Damn it, he's right.
That's fair. Tommy is not necessarily going to stay up in the barony. He's going to find a tunnel, pop down into Colrathi town, and grab somewhere to sleep there. And he's gonna he likes these guys. He likes these guys a lot. And this is absolutely going to be his opportunity. So he's just going to pack all the belongings he can carry, and he's going to find them tomorrow, and he's just not looking back.
Okay.
And they can deal with it.
Whether they like it or not.
Yep.
All right. The next morning, Big Joe, Bill, you guys wake up, and there's Tommy Two Toes with a large rucksack, kind of making himself at home in the trailer, finding his own little space.
Mm-hmm.
Bill doesn't want. Oh, go ahead.
I would say, is Joe in the trailer? Is the trailer big enough for Joe?
No, Joe.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm outside. Okay. Using a tent as a blanket.
So
Oh, God.
essentially in this case, Bill wakes up alone in the trailer, and Tommy Two Toes already getting.
Well, Chuck's there
installed-
too.
Oh yeah, Chuck's here too, but Chuck's probably sleeping, still recovering from the wounds and stuff. So Bill, for 2 seconds, like he sits up and he sees Tummy Two Toes and he's kind of dumbfounded. He's like,
Well, essentially, what Bill would see is this is kind of the travel trailer. So it's got like a little mini kitchen in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the cabinet underneath the sink, one of the doors is open, and there's a little pair of feet sticking out, and there's banging and clattering and all sorts of mechanical implements like being tossed out, and then like a little handle come out and grab something else. And
important question. You said your feet are sticking out. Are you wearing any socks or shoes?
No, none.
Okay, so Bill goes to he thinks it's like a random Colorado just dismantling the whole sink, and he's about to say like "whoa," and then as he's like leaping to go check it out, he sees 2 toes on the left foot, and he goes like,
Hey, Bill, morning, sunshine.
"Are you stealing our sink?"
You high belts sure sleep late, don't you?
Well, we had a rough day before, and a rough night, and a rough everything.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I get that. Every now and then, it's good. It's good to get a little bit of extra shut eye.
But you're dodging the question. Are you stealing our sink?
Stealing your sink? Why would I steal your sink? What purpose would be behind me stealing your sink?
Well, I don't know. I don't understand the Colorado culture, and you guys are pretty. You guys are pretty crafty with your hands. So.
Thank you.
So
thank
what
you
are
for
you
noticing.
doing?
I am stealing the sink.
We kind of need.
No, Bill. Now let's level with each other. I saw the state of your dishes. Clearly, don't need the sink because you ain't using it.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know yet, but something a little bit more useful than not washing dishes.
I really hope and make a weapon out of it. I really do.
I mean, I can put it back if you want, but I didn't really pay attention too much to how it goes back together, so I can't promise it's going to be as functional. Not that that's going to be a concern, just saying.
Are you hoping he makes a disintegrator?
No, just he can throw everything at them, including the kitchen sink.
Oh, yeah.
Out of character, is your stuff already under the sink, like in the little cabinet, or is it spread around somewhere in the trailer?
So the tool bag is sitting right outside, and he's reaching in, grab. But as for everything he owns that can be carried, it basically consists of the rucksack that Jakin mentioned, and that is explicitly tied to the end of for a Kolrathi, a long stick, so that he can hold it over his shoulder,
like a bindle.
Yeah, exactly like that.
And is it resting like somewhere in the trailer?
Yeah, that's it's set down near the door, with still tied to the stick, and the stick is leaning up against the wall.
So I see you got your stuff there. You planning a trip?
I heard something about the Chicago Isles and a Zeppelin Armada, and the that's the plan, ain't it?
So you want to come with us?
I mean, obviously. Are you saying that you don't? Are you saying you were planning on leaving me behind? You were.
No, we just had not clarified that detail.
You were just gonna skip town and leave old Tommy Two Toes here, none the wiser? What kind of monsters are yous?
We're humans.
That's a fair answer.
Speak for yourself, friend. Not all of you are humans.
Oh, right. Hey, Big Joe, good morning.
Just a big eye looking through the window.
Like a T-Rex. Schmoly. Whoa. That is impressive. Yeah. So no, I mean, obviously, you need to talk about this. Apparently, so
No. Look
don't
at this. Look at
don't let me no. Go ahead, have your discussion. Don't let me get in the way. He's gonna dive right back under the sink and start clanging again.
So Bill's gonna look at Big Joe and's gonna look at Chuck and be like, okay, I believe in democracy, so let's put it to a vote. Should Tummy Tuto join us? I vote Big Joe.
We cannot have a vote right now. Not all of our members are here.
Shh. That was the plan to keep Tommy. I like him.
He is amicable, I will admit. So when Hector and Ron meet him, they will obviously see what we see. And thus, I mean, they are both proven that they are okay with folks from the other world, as they have been rather nice to myself, despite others of my race being less than kind in return. So
You're right. You're right. We can't take a decision without them, at least not without knowing what happened. And Chuck's still out of commission, as I can see. So, how about we go grab some breakfast and go talk it out with Debbie and the Baron?
Tommy's gonna pop right back out under grub. Let's go.
Yeah, that sounds like a.
He's just gonna set a pipe directly down on the floor.
And as Big Joe walks away.
There's a passing thought in Bill's head that when Chucks wakes up in the trailer and sees a random rucksack and the whole thing being this, like, half being deconstructed, Chuck might be confused, but that's a problem for future Bill and future.
And present Bill is hungry.
Yeah, present Bill is like, at this point, a lot of weird shit's happening. There's more pressing matters. Let's deal with it.
So, big guy.
I'm assuming you are referring to myself.
I mean, that's a fair bit of confusion because the kind of everyone around here is a big guy in comparison. So yeah, no, yes, big Storm Dragon. Good,
All right.
Good morning.
Morning to yourself, Tommy Two Toes. That is just a fun name to say.
I know, right?
Tommy Two Toes.
Yeah. They got they got good food around here, right?
It is food. It is hot, and I mean it is strange. But I mean it's good, I suppose. It's different, but different is good.
Everybody needs a little bit of strange in their life every now and then.
It is definitely some of the better food I've had in a long while. Most of the times I'm eating like jerky and whatever bits and pieces we can find out in the wasteland. So to have like eggs and bacon is, I mean, they were serving eggs and bacon if I remember. So
eggs. I've done eggs before. What's bacon?
It is these little strip things. I think they get it from trees. I'm not too certain. It looks like pieces of bark that they then cook. It's crispy, but tastes delicious. It's also a little greasy.
Actually, they taste disgusting, and you should give me your service. And Bill has this face of like, please believe my lie. Please believe my lie. I want more bacon. Please believe my lie. Big Joe's probably like, what are you saying, Bill?
Point of order, they probably don't have we probably don't have bacon. Eggs are probably more accessible than bacon to them.
Bad. I thought we had bacon last time. I was trying to remember what we had while we met.
I don't remember.
Here.
I just remember toast because that was
one of the core
things.
Yeah.
After he kept gutter sniping them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's okay. I mean, the lack of bacon clearly tells the world has went to shit. No bacon, world has went to shit. It's thematic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so replace the talk of bacon with talk of toast, and still the same sentiment about how Big Joe thinks it comes from trees.
Yep. So does at that point does Bill still try to convince Tommy that toast is disgusting and I should give it to him?
No, not toast. Bill would
Ah.
actually encourage.
Oh, okay.
I'm fairly certain Kohlrabi have a toast analog where they're from.
Right. Right.
Well, depends if they cook with fire or not.
I mean,
Along the whole
what
making of
kind,
bread.
What
They
what
cooked-
kind of
Yeah, they made bread, they tasted it, and they're like, cook it again.
that is exactly what toast is. Yes. I mean, all right. So eggs, wakey eggs and bakey.
Yep.
All right. Let's.
All right, when you guys arrive at the picnic area, you notice that unlike the last time, things are a little more. There's a sense of urgency, and it appears like the caravan is getting ready to move once again for the first time since you guys have arrived. So people are quickly eating, and then they're packing up all their things, and you see at the far end of this kind of dining area. And as soon as the table's cleared, they're like packing up the table and then strapping it onto station wagons and stuff.
I'm gonna stop a random person like just driving. Is like, did word go out that we're that the caravans?
Yeah, this is day 3. We got to get going before nature decides to move us, against our will.
Oh, it's only a relocation.
What was that? Sorry.
It's only a relocation.
Relocation, yes. The caravan moves every 3 days.
Perfect. Where could we find a baron?
I was about to describe that at the far end of the eating area, McQuaid and Debbie Shane are having a conversation.
If I'm done eating, I join them, and if I'm not done eating, I grab my plate and I join them.
All right. I would like to point out that Pierre was not there this morning. Well, actually, he probably descended into the Kohlrabi tunnels, but he did not join you this morning.
Okay.
I'll miss the man
He may
or the
come back.
Kohlrabi.
Who knows?
But with
Go ahead.
the 3 of us, we shall head towards McQuaid and Debbie Shane.
Okay. Now I'm ready for you. I fixed the frames. I was fixing the frames where you guys are talking. All right. So you guys come up to them, and as you do, they both kind of see you out of their side. They glance at you, and McQuaid kind of makes like a come here gesture.
And we approach.
They seem to be having it's not a heated argument, but they're definitely having a back and forth. And when you guys arrive, McQuaid turns to you and he says, well, I don't know what to say. First and foremost, thank you so much for rescuing our people. I understand that Roy was left behind.
Roy and Hector, we haven't heard of them. They went in after a second half.
Okay. Who speaks for your group now? Roy was my point of contact.
I believe we would have a common voice right now. Big Joe, did you want to take the lead, or shall I keep it for now?
Well, you are able to go places. I currently cannot. So perhaps it is best that if we were to have some sort of meeting inside one of these trailers or buildings, that you would be better equipped.
We can discuss it right here. That's fine.
Just for future. Perhaps, I mean, Bill, with you used to sell vacuum cleaners, which I hear requires people to be personable. So you might be better than myself.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It doesn't really matter. Just hear me. Debbie here was telling me that now, instead of attacking the Chicago Isles, you instead want to attack the JCC.
Well, it's because we still don't know what our two not former, I don't want to say that. What our two friends, what happened to them? I would really like to know. And knowing that there's other survivors from the barony, as well as possibly around the area, still stuck in there, makes me feel a little bit guilty of at least not trying something to save them.
It would
At the same
also
go ahead.
it would also bolster our numbers for when we do move on Chicago.
Well, it depends on how many numbers we lose assaulting that pit.
With the aid of the flying thing, it would be a little bit easier. We did a number on them last time, and there was only 5 of us, 6 if you include Pierre.
Well, I'm not
5 if you include Pierre. I forget.
I'm not too keen on this sort of military kind of mindset, but according to people who know better than I, an aerial bombardment of the JCC would probably not rescue your friends. It's one thing to attack the Isles, the Chicago Isles, which are above ground, but to shell an underground facility could cause a lot of cave-ins. I mean, we probably could level the place, but if our goal is to save some people, that would not be the way to go.
I'm going to level with you, Baron. I have 0 experience in this sort of thing, so I was just hoping.
Well, we do have some smaller dirigibles, which might aid in some capacity. No doubt the JCC would not expect you to come from above. Or the air, I should say. Technically, everyone comes from above if they live underground. But, yeah.
Well, that would be rather helpful. I do think, though, rescuing the folks at the JCC should be our primary concern. And, I mean, if there are some of your folks there, it might boost morale on your side if, we could rescue some of them. So there are loved ones that are trapped in there. Debbie, Shane, you would know more than us, perhaps, on who was still there, or at least the numbers.
Well, she kind of rubs her eyes. She got a good night's sleep, but just the thought of it is fatiguing her. She's like, our numbers dwindled by the day as we were there, but I know that a few more of our people were captured before me that weren't rescued. I don't know what their fates have been.
How many of the JCC were there in that hole?
Well, we were never able to do a head count, but the correctional center housed hundreds.
Oh, hundreds. I was
Maybe
hoping
more.
you were going to say that. Okay, well, they might have eaten some of them. They're cannibals, so it's possible the numbers could have dwelled. But then, we killed. By we, I mean other folks other than myself. Killed probably dozens of them.
And I'm thinking we could use the discourage tactic or a distraction tactic, either or. Like, the discourage could be we could show the fortified blimp to them, saying like, hey, if you don't give us the prisoners back, you're going to be blown to hell.
That may not work. Just from what I do know from my father, when you threaten someone that has prisoners, it is often best to not, threaten them in a way that would kill the prisoners you're there to rescue. And from what I just heard from the Baron, it seems like us bombarding the hole would kill our friends, so it's kind of an empty threat.
To be fair, if they understand how the blimp works, if they're not familiar with the weaponry on the blimp, they might not understand that it wouldn't be required to bomb. Just seeing big guns would make them realize we can't fight these people. But that was just one idea. My other idea that I was going to put on the table to save our numbers would be to have a force attack the JCC from one, but not an actual attack, just a drag the attention toward them, like guerrilla tactic essentially, while a smaller force could go in and see what happened to the prisoners and our friends, try to rescue again.
McQuaid raises a hand rather authoritatively. That's not that word. That's not a word. You all know what I mean.
Authoritatively?
That's the word. And he says, forgive me, I understand you have all been on the road for this whole time. And so maybe this hasn't crossed your mind. But criminals and cannibals as they may be, the JCC is also threatened on a regular by the Dutuoa of the Chicago Isles. Perhaps we could arrange some diplomacy. If we could add their numbers to our own, then attacking the Chicago Isles, our odds for success increase dramatically.
What would we offer them, and what would we get aside from the help? Do you think we could get the prisoners through diplomacy?
Perhaps.
Big Joe, could you plug your ears for a moment?
Oh, right. And he'll earmuff.
Do you think they would go for if we give them the Dutuawa bodies after?
Well, I don't know of their dietary needs. I suppose we could discuss it. We have no need of that.
No, we don't.
Right. I just think
as an
that
incentive,
both the JCC and the barony stand to gain from taking out the Chicago Isles.
Hold on, and he's gonna tap on Big Joe and tell him you can undeafen yourself.
Yes.
Oh, it's fine now. You can listen again.
Oh, all right.
So the idea is that being so holed up as they are, I'm just afraid that they might not see the value of taking over the Chicago Isle. Like, what could we convince that they would gain from it, aside from maybe a little bit more mobility?
Well,
I guess we could... Oh, go ahead.
I said we could offer them the bodies. They are cannibals.
Damn it.
That sounds like a spectacular idea. See, this guy's got the brains right there.
And I was thinking, do you plan on following Debbie Shane's plan and going to Manhattan as well, Mr.
Montana?
Montana, sorry.
He looks at her and he says, well, that has yet to be discussed at length.
Because if it comes down to it, let's assume right now that the plan would be to move the caravan toward Montana. Then we could also put on the table that if they help us rescue the survivors at Chicago Isle and give us the prisoners that they have, we could give them the bodies for a food source and the territory.
You seem to have quite a handle on things, Bill. Would you mind standing with me if we manage to get them to a sit-down?
Certainly. Trading's my business.
Would you be all right with leaving behind all your coal fields?
Again, a greater discussion needs to be made on the migration aspect. Right now, I'm just trying to deal with the threats in front of us. Imagine what we could do if we didn't have to worry about Dutuoa slavers and JCC cannibals nipping at our heels.
Yeah.
True, but it is also possible that once we deal with the Dutuoa, the cannibals will eventually betray us.
Well, it is the point of correctional facilities to rehabilitate criminals and to bring them back into society. So perhaps we could bridge that gap.
I don't think that's how that actually works.
Well,
I'm no expert, but I'm just saying.
Well, 6 years ago, I didn't think small pastel-colored creatures were real, but here we are.
And Big Joe, your point stands. We haven't had. I think the Barony is the first person where the first group of people that hasn't backstabbed us yet. And I don't mean any insult, Mr. McQuaid. Of course, you're a very friendly sort and everything. However, it is a distinct possibility that if we get an alliance, that they backstab us later on. However, if we do show them the superior firepower that we have, they're going to think twice before they do that.
Exactly. And if we manage to get our prisoners back and the JCC is completely incorrigible, we can completely bombard them and destroy them with the Blimp City. Gabby says, assuming we don't take it to Montana. He's like, again, a larger discussion.
Well, this maybe be a time for that discussion. If we are going to attempt to broker an accord with them, it might be better for us going in knowing exactly what it is we want and what we plan to do. While dealing with the problems in front of us is important, knowing what kind of bargaining chips we have at our disposal might be better. One thing my father taught me when taking some of Yo folk as slave, not Yo folk as in the barony, but just humans in general.
Well, I don't think we'd want to bring them along. Not until they've proven that they've improved in character.
Oh no, I just mean like knowing what kind of bargaining chips we have to maybe coerce them would help. So if, for example, if it comes to it, we could offer them the area if our plan was to, well, your plan was to move on. So maybe it is time to have that discussion about what we want to do. And by we, I mean the barony.
I think we should wait. The Blimp City may not even survive the attack on the Chicago Isles. We should.
Fair enough, I guess.
We should hold off any unnecessary conversation until it becomes pertinent. Debbie seems to be agreeing with you guys, but she's giving McQuaid the side eye that kind of gives you the impression that this is kind of how he manages things, and she does not like it. He keeps things very close to the chest.
All right. Okay. So I guess right now all we have is to get them to sit down in order to have an accord with us.
I think that's
To
a
take
solid plan.
The Chicago Isle.
How exactly are we going to go about that?
Bill, do you have any ideas?
Aside from encountering one of their parties and asking for a parley, however, it didn't turn out so well the first time with us when we went in to try and parley, just us, like not for the barony, but just us to try and rescue Debbie Shane here. It turned out a little bit, and I'm not sure if personally if I could convince them to trust me as in a party, because I'm sure they remember. However, if you were there, McQuaid, then maybe they would recognize you. Do they know you're the leader of the barony? Because if they see you as the leader of the barony, they could understand you're like, this parley is for real.
I think my appearance and disposition will convince them of my authority. We could walk right up to their front door with a show of force. We have armed dirigibles ready to go.
My worry is your safety, though. They might, if they see you reachable, sorry to say, I'm not meaning it as an insult, but they might try to cut the head of the snake.
Well, perhaps you can go in my stead and arrange a more neutral site. But then the danger falls upon you.
But you'd have bigger, bangier guns, so there's that.
I'll be honest, I'm not too hot at the idea of being at the front line that much. Not that I'm a coward, but I don't like getting shot at. I don't like getting cut up. I don't think anybody does, but However, for the good of the community and for the fact that we desperately need to work together in these times of need, I could
You could what? You cut off.
consider it, yes.
I'll let your group decide that while Debbie and I resume our previous conversation. So if you'll excuse us. And he kind of like just kind of touches her on the arm, and they kind of take a maybe 10 yards away from you guys to resume the conversation, leaving you guys to kind of sort this out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of ideas are flying around, and yeah.
So Bill's gonna turn to Tommy and Big Joe and is gonna say, "So, looks like the parlay idea is gonna be the predominant. To a certain extent, I feel like it's a good idea because no matter what strategy you would employ to do a force attack on this and try to rescue the people, if they see they're losing, they could cut their losses and flee. And sometimes when hostile people flee, they leave a trail of dead behind. So I'm afraid for the prisoners. That's mostly what I'm afraid of here. So the parlay seems like a better idea here. Now, I don't want to lose McQuaid in an ambush of some sort. And he suggested that I go in his stead. The problem is not I don't think I could not do that. My problem is I don't want to be in there by myself, or even with you guys. I trust you guys, but I feel it would put everyone in danger that I don't particularly enjoy the idea. What do you think?
Well, we went there last time with the intent to potentially parlay with them, and our first interaction did not go so well. We ended up fighting a lot of them, which led us to a whole bunch of trouble
Yes.
that did not really get any better. I mean, it nearly got us killed. That's what
Agreed.
shot up both Chuck and Roy. We got hooked by them bikers. So I do not know how, what is the word? How agreeable they are going to be if we approach them a second time. I mean, we did just potentially put a hurt on them, which would probably make them more agitated, like kind of like kicking a rattlesnake.
The one difference between what we did and what we would now be doing is that when we did it, we passed off as a group of travelers that had a doctor on board that was just simply trying to exchange prisoners for services. Now, this time, from what I understand, McWade would be with us as well as a strong force of the caravan. And with the appearance of McQuaid, we would be speaking on McQuaid's behalf. I'm not sure how much they would trust us, since they would know who caused the trouble originally. But with McQuaid in the equation, they would understand more that instead of being a service for prisoner exchange, it would be more of a parley between two not political, but we'll say armies. I know it's not a proper word, but we'll say two armies. Force, yeah. Nations, if we want to call that.
Tommy Two Toes, you have been rather quiet. What do you have an experience in this sort of thing?
Well,
rather worldly, from what I can tell.
Well, I appreciate that you recognize that. In fact, in my rather esteemed opinion, in situations similar to this, talk is always better than no talk. You can't, you never come to an understanding if all you're doing is punching the other guy in the face repeatedly until he bleeds from all the holes in the head area.
Where were you a couple of weeks ago when we were meeting some other folks? We could have used your can-do attitude.
Well, thank you. No, so I would say it's always good to start with talk. Especially, I mean, even if it's going to turn into you got to stab a guy in the neck with a pen. if you're talking to the guy first, either he's talking back and you're getting some much needed information from him, or you're using the opportunity to talk yourself up a little bit so that the next time something happens, you don't need to stab a guy in the neck or punch him in the face until he bleeds from all the holes in the head area, because other people know that the last time someone did that, you stabbed him in the neck and then punched him in the face until he bled from all the holes in the head area. It's so talk. Yes, I would say talk. That's what I'm circling around here is talk to these asshole cannibals. And if you gotta take a blimp city to do it, that just sounds freaking awesome.
Very well. So we seem to be on board of the talking part. Now,
I'm always on board with the talking part. Our group, however, is not exactly known for their diplomacy.
well, Chuck has not been very, to me at least.
You cut out after to me at least.
Sorry, god damn it. Sorry about that. So I don't know if Chuck stands more on the fighting side or the talking side. I don't feel I've paid attention enough to Chuck's attitude on that. Roy and Hector, however, were a little bit more on the fighting side, and right now we're there to rescue them, so they're not part of the whole discussion. So I think we're gonna go with talk.
Oh, so this Roy and this Hector, these fellas, they're your Goombas. They're your leg breakers.
Yes,
These
definitely
are the,
Roy.
Yeah. These are the guys that you send in to stab a guy in the neck or punch him in the face until he bleeds from all the holes in the head area. So, like,
Is that what a Goomba is in this world? Wow,
That's-
that is very different from where we come from.
Yeah, no, that's when I was watching the movie and I heard someone call a Goomba, and I'm looking for a little mushroom guy, and it just didn't happen.
You see, that is exactly what I was wondering. I was
Yeah,
like, they're
no.
not mushroom people. No,
No, not at all. Like, and they're bigger and they're beefier, and so it's a colloquialism, I suppose.
that is a fancy word. I don't know what it means.
It means it's a word that means something other than the word you think it means locally.
So like slang.
Yeah. Slang. Well, I mean, slang's the. I guess that's. Yeah, let's go with slang.
We kind of derailed from the whole subject here.
What were we talking about? What?
We're talking about. Okay, we're gonna talk. Okay, we're gonna talk to these people. We're gonna talk to these people, the JCC, right?
Oh, yeah. The dirty cannibals. Got it. Yeah. Talk, but with bigger, bangier guns.
Yes. Now, how do you think we should proceed? We need to be careful about how we proceed. I don't mind talking on McQuaid's behalf. I don't want to volunteer you guys to join me, but I'm not gonna do it by myself. I'm kind of in a conundrum.
Yous are all talking about showing up at a big hole in the ground full of dirty cannibals in a friggin' blimp city. How are you thinking I wouldn't want to be part of this? That's just holy schmoly! That sounds amazing.
Obviously, I will not be in them plan things, as that's just not something for me. I like the good old ground, and he's gonna like lean down and touch the ground, terra firma. But I mean, I sometimes find I am somewhat of a cooler head with our group, so I will definitely prefer to be there. Plus, I am rather big, so I can at least look intimidating. And as long as they don't know that I am like a giant puppy dog, they won't know any.
Well, I mean, you threw a motorcycle at them. Fairly certain that counts as intimidation.
Whoa! You were throwing motorcycles?
I believe dirt bike is more appropriate.
You are just so much cooler right now. Like, you were cool to begin with, but man.
Oh, stop it. I do appreciate it. It's nice.
And Bill uses that opportunity to like kind of lean into Tommy, and he's gonna say, he also split a truck in half.
You did the what now? What? And you got it. You got it. You gotta flex for me. Let me see it. Let me see those guns you're touting.
And he's going.
Oh!
It's the weakest flex ever.
Oh.
It's like someone super shy trying to flex us.
Yeah, no, you gotta go now.
Okay, so
I said we had to bring bigger, bangier guns. I didn't know we had some already.
I mean, I don't have any firearms, but
so you guys got my back. If we decide that I'm gonna go on behalf of McQuaid to do the parlay, you guys will be with me.
Oh, forget
you are
about
part
it.
of my tribe now, Bill. So of course. Sorry for talking to you.
No, it's fine. Bill is gonna like he was almost expecting his party to be like, no, it's stupid, let's not do this, and Bill would have been like, yes, I don't have to do this. But now that they all agree, he's like, okay, let's do it.
I guess you're in charge now.
No!
Too soon. All right.
Too soon.
All right, and at that moment, McQuaid and Debbie are returning, and they're like, McQuaid says, "All right, what have you guys come up with?"
Well,
so you see, we're gonna climb up on board this blimp city you got, and we're gonna fly in like a bunch of dragon badasses, and then Big Joe here with the massive pectorals and biceps he's got is gonna be like down on the ground, and he's gonna be and then oh shit, I forgot. What then?
Bill is gonna like raise his hand to kind of tell Tommy that he's gonna take it over from here, and Bill's gonna say, so summarized, we will do a show of force, show you as the leader of the barony since they know you. We will let them know that we're open to parlay. However, I will be speaking on your behalf. My colleagues here will accompany me for safety reasons. After we've agreed on a place to meet, which would be away from the JCC hole, but like not within the barony line of fire, basically the neutral ground between the two places, we could then sit down, you and I, as well as anybody who wants to join us in conversation with their leaders and anybody who wants to join them in their conversation, and discuss the actual parlay term. But I would be the one going to them in the first place in case they do shooting and whatnot. I'm not too happy about that, but I mean, it needs to be done.
While that's a great concept, there is one problem. The blimp city has not been weaponized yet.
But do they know that?
I think what he means is when you do a show of foes, normally there is some sort of showing part, and if we have nothing to show, it's not really a show of foes, it's a show of nothing.
Yo, you's got weapons?
We have weapons. We have
you got one blimp that you can let me look at?
We have dirigibles, armed and ready. But not the blimp city is what I'm saying.
No, but some dirigibles, I'm sure they would be intimidated by essentially vehicles, armed vehicles. When we went there, they didn't have it. The one thing that they could have that would be somewhat of a match to a flying dirigible with weapons was a machine.
You cut off that machine gun?
Yeah, they had a machine gun that Big Joe made sure that they would not be able to use. So I'm fairly certain that every weaponry side, they don't have a whole lot. And just showing up with the dirigible with like on them, as well as the fighting force of the barony, that would be enough to give them food for thought. And also ensure your protection.
Alright. I'll give you a pair of dirigibles.
Yes! I mean, that sounds good. That's a good idea.
Very well. And I'm assuming if we establish a parlay, you will come as well.
If you can establish a neutral meeting site, yes.
Do you have some sort of megaphone? Did it exist? Yeah, did it exist back there? Do you have some sort of megaphone or voice expanding system that we could use so I don't have to get at their...
Quick
I mean, I
Google.
can yell really loud.
Yes, the electronic megaphone was invented. Yeah,
I got
a pretty primitive version.
you.
But yes.
What
Yeah,
you
I have
you
one of
need-
those. Obviously, I use them all the time on the campaign trail.
Man,
Somebody's having
PR
in the
wants
background.
PR wants to ask a question, but Big Joe wouldn't. So
Hashtag same.
yeah. All right. Well, I mean, seems like that is our plan. We will go with 2 dirigibles.
Yes.
Then, do you have an idea of somewhere where we could hold this meeting that is neutral ground? You know the area better than us, and we would prefer to not get swindled by if they make a suggestion that seems neutral but isn't.
Well, most of Illinois is what I would call neutral ground.
Tommy?
I got yous. I got this.
Okay.
I got it.
All right.
What's your suggestion?
So I know a guy that knows another guy that's got a little bit of a safe haven spot. Kind of. Yeah, I know a guy. I know a guy. Okay, forget about it. I know a guy.
All right. That is encouraging to me, so I'm on board.
I need to make that one of his stunts. I know a guy.
Well, if you leave it up in my hands, then that's gonna be it. I assume we'll be back with news or not back at all.
All right, I'll have 2 dirigibles prepped and ready to go.
You said you got one of them electric mega horn thingies, right?
Yes, I'll bring that to the crew. One thing though, Mr. What was your name again? He's pointing to Bill.
Bill Barker.
Mr. Barker.
Love that alliteration.
The dirigibles are very sensitively constructed and kind of like beckons you closer.
I lean in.
And he kind of puts one
I'll
hand
also lean in.
and he whispers, and well, your karate friend comes with a sort of reputation that is of his kind in regards to technical oddities or mechanical oddities.
He prefers the ground. He's not gonna be in the dirigible.
To that point of order, that was Joe. Tommy is totally getting in the dirigible. Totally getting in it. May already be eyeing them, figuring out how he can make it.
He's already in it.
He didn't say anything about the smaller stature person. He only said the big stature person. So.
No, he said Cole Rothy. He was talking about Tommy.
Yeah, he was 100% talking about Tommy.
Oh, about Tommy as well?
Yeah, he's
Only
saying,
about Tommy.
Exclusively.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood that. So in that case, Bill's gonna say, I can do my best, but I might actually be a deal breaker for Tom. So
just can I trust you to make sure that he keeps his hands to himself?
I can promise you I'll do my best.
Excellent. The GM starts counting fate coins.
Uh-huh.
All
The
right.
player starts thinking about retiring early.
Shit, there goes another character.
Okay, so afterwards, I'm assuming like they split up, or are we?
Or are we what?
Are there still going to be some discussion to be?
No. They're getting the dirigibles prepped.
So Bill's gonna turn to Tommy and say, "Tommy,
Yo,
you are what seems to be a very technical Coloradi, and given your species' affinity with technical stuff, I am
I
sure
got
that
you.
you could."
I got you. I'm already thinking of ways to make
Mm.
it bigger and bangier.
He
I got some great ideas.
He doesn't want that.
I don't follow.
he is afraid because he doesn't know you.
Not the way we know
I
you.
know
You know
you
the 12 hours.
Yeah. I know you a little better, especially since
Yeah.
Pierre. You know, like Pierre's a good reference, and you're a friend of
Exactly.
Pierre,
Yep,
so obviously you're a good person.
Right.
But he doesn't know you. He's afraid that you will do more damage than you will do improvements.
That is absolutely a fair concern, and I commend the man for having the gumption to speak up on it. And on my honor, I can absolutely 100% guarantee that he will not be disappointed with the improvements that I make.
So
perhaps, Tommy, you could turn your attention more to something land-based, as running is getting, while it does keep me in really nice shape, it is getting rather difficult given how often I am wounded. So if maybe we could turn that creative mind into creating something to aid me in my travel.
Okay,
that would be...
okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I might have a few ideas there too.
Use this.
I can multitask. This is okay. I can do this.
No, just use this project as a way to win him over. To focus all your attention on something for me. He'll see, oh, okay, his work is really good, and then he'll let you work on the dirigibles.
Yes, Big Joe has a very good idea right there. Convince him with your skills by showing him what you can do.
This is
What you can.
This is. I like this. You guys got a good way of thinking around the issue. That we you don't got to think through the issue. That's the mark of a very creative individual, and I respect that, like that. We're gonna go with that. Let's so are we thinking roller skates or
I want to see that.
Or
I do not know what these roller skates are, but I am very intrigued.
Oh, we're doing roller skates. That's it. Okay, done.
I look forward to this finished product.
All right. So the two dirigibles that will be escorting you guys are prepped. One of them has a more classic design. It's got the elongated balloon, and it's got like
as a Zeppelin.
Yeah, but it's not quite as neat as a Zeppelin. You know, it doesn't have that awesome compact little carriage. Yeah. Instead, it's got rope kind of dangling off of it, and it's slung underneath it is this kind of wooden, almost naval. Waterborne ship like, except without the necessary shape. It's just kind of like this wooden platform.
So it's almost like airship from Final Fantasy style?
Yeah, almost exactly like that.
Nice.
It's got 3 propeller engines, 1 in the rear and 2 on either side. And in the middle of this area, kind of raised, is the cockpit of a fighter plane that has been placed here, and the rest of it has been stripped off. The other one has a much more unique design. You anticipate maybe they've been improving their design since the first one. This one is well, actually, oh no, my son took all my dice and threw them on the floor. All right, it's kind of forming an X, kind of like if you have a 6-sided die, the 5 has like an X kind of formation with 5 dots. There's 5 tubular balloons, and they have interconnecting gangplanks and walkways. And the middle one is kind of built up on top with the platform and the cockpit. And the engines are the side engines are between the pylons on the either side, and then the rear has a cockpit like that. So that one's much more intricate and involved. We'll call that one the Fiver. The Fiver on top of the two upmost pylons or tubes at the front have two pom poms, which are early anti-aircraft weapons. They have they're basically quad 40mm cannons that fire air bursting rounds.
Oof.
The other dirigible strapped to the bottom, upside down, is a howitzer cannon that can be aimed down. And it also has like a kind of on either side of the cannon itself, it has like an area where someone could climb down on a ladder and operate and reload the weapon. Whereas the two pom poms have like a gunner station and all that.
Okay.
Which one do you guys want to ride on?
Oh, the one with the bigger bangy gun.
Neither. I mean,
Neither, both, yes.
I mean, no. Joe is not.
I know. I'm just 1 foot on each.
Yeah.
Bill's gonna ask
That's
Joe.
what roller skates are.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. That.
Bill's gonna stop Big Joe. And, Big Joe, I don't want to leave you alone on the ground. It would be unfair, but I don't want to bring a vehicle. Do you mind if you're alone on the ground on this one?
That's all right. I don't mind being alone on the ground. I would rather be alone on the ground than up in the air with one of them things.
But if you need help, call and we'll be there.
All right. It's
And I'll take
a lot
the other
easier.
one that.
All right.
No, actually,
All right.
you know what? I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be in the same one that Tommy is in.
Okay.
I don't know how
I'm
you consider that one safe.
I'm supervising your good work. And also throwing out your tool bag that keeps appearing in the dirigible for some reason. I keep throwing it out and it keeps coming back, but I keep throwing it out.
Question. McQuaid said that also provided with the dirigibles would be the megaphone.
Yes.
That is technically not a dirigible.
Oh, God.
That is true.
And that's the best kind of technical.
And it was pointed out to Tommy that the best way to get McQuaid to agree to let me play with the dirigibles is to impress him with my craftsmanship. Well, this is his personal megaphone. So how better to impress him than to build? I agree, building something for Big Joe to move around with would be very impressive, but it wouldn't be as personal and impactful as something that belongs to McQuaid.
I regret this whole idea already, but sure.
I wanna play with the megaphone.
Okay. When you board the dirigible, you're met by the captain, and she is wearing a long trench coat. She has very short trimmed hair, which in the 50s might be a little
Out of place?
rebellious. Yeah, out of place. But she's got very short, like very very short hair, and she's got goggles dangling around her like a necklace. And tucked underneath the goggles is a bandana. And she says, "Welcome to the Iron Rose. I'm Captain Helena."
The Iron Rose is the X-shaped one, or is it the more traditional?
The more traditional.
Okay. Just for my notes.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome. It's a very interesting dirigible that you've got there. I don't think I've ever seen one. I'm talking mostly the gun.
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive
Old,
work.
old Betsy, we call her. Yeah, she's got a hell of a kick. If we have to fire that thing mid-flight, grab something.
Noted.
We're just waiting on Engineer Desmond to give us the okay. And as she says that, you kind of see a guy walk by. He's wearing thick overalls, and he's got not leather, rubber gloves that come up past his elbow on either arm. And on his face, he has what looks like a homemade plague doctor's mask. And he goes, "How on?" as he walks by.
And was that good news or bad news?
What was that?
He was just saying hi. Don't worry about Desmond. He's a bit of a character.
Don't worry about.
Running no time. We'll be ready to go in a few minutes, Captain.
Oh, I understood some of that. I'm getting used to his character already. And speaking of unusual character, yes, and he's gonna just point to Tommy and point to Big Joe since we're not taken off yet.
Yeah, Big Joe's off the next to the dirigible since you guys are anchored, as it were.
Hey yo.
And
Do I have my roller skates, by the way?
It's a good question. You want to go ahead and make a crafts roll?
100% I want to do
Challenge 3, we'll say.
And if you fail, use a token. I want to see Big Joe on roller skates. I don't give a crap.
It better be rocket roller skates,
so
like Acme style.
The way I'm
if they're
thinking of this,
if they're rocket roller skates, we're gonna bump it up to a 5.
I'll take whatever. I just PR wants to see that.
Well, we can set it to 3, and if you beat 5, if you succeed with style, you can make it rocket roller skates.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so rolling crafts. That's a 5.
Well, a 3, in order to get success, you need a 6 with style. So you can spend a fate token if you really want to make them rocket skates.
No. So here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna build this off of the concept of a truck frame.
Okay.
Like with
he's not that big, but I get what you're saying.
It's the concept. With the off-road tires. And then
a souped-up go-kart on either foot.
Yeah, exactly. And there is a rocket on each of them, but I haven't quite figured out exactly the force to push ratio. Do not, under any circumstances, unless you think it would be really, really cool, turn those rockets on. Not yet. I'm working on it.
Oh, all right. As he's kind of like trying to get used to these.
Well, it wouldn't
this
be
is almost like
it wouldn't be a very slick surface as it is dirt, so you'd probably be planted. Yeah. It's just moving would be rather new.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like he's moving his feet, trying to figure out how am I supposed to propel myself with this.
I haven't worked out that far yet. Okay, you gave me what, an hour?
No, I just.
So roller skates have that kind of rubber braking mechanism. How do you devise him being able to brake?
A fifth tire. That's just sideways.
So it's gonna be like a fifth tire mounted on the equivalent then of a truck's or like a police car's what do they call the push bar in front?
Yes, I think we know what you mean.
Yeah. Like the ramming bar in the front of a police car. So the equivalent of that is mounted up front with 2 tires bunched up on the front of it, and then in between the tires is every pillow he could get his hands on.
Got it. There's a lot of upset people in the caravan. Got it.
Yep.
All right. Okay, Captain, we're ready to go. Whenever you're ready. Yeah, we're ready to go. All right. Desmond just says we're ready to go.
What the shit is this guy saying?
Oh, he gets him getting used to. When we're actually airborne and the engines are going, no idea.
Well, if we're ready to go, better sooner than later.
All right, let's get them spooled up. So the two dirigibles turn on their three engines, and they get rid of they pull up their weights, and they start to head upward. So, have either of you flown before?
Nope.
No. This is gonna be awesome.
All right, well, if you need to hurl, please lean over the side. And try to miss your guy down there. And she kind of jumps inside the fighter pilot cockpit, and she starts flipping switches.
I'm gonna find the megaphone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna play with it.
All right. So you guys head out towards the JCC, and Big Joe, go ahead and give me an athletics roll.
Okay, I also want to say that Big Joe is going to try to find like 2 trees or poles, and he's going to use them to like almost like cross country ski with these.
Yeah.
Athletics.
Athletics or
Nice.
drive, since your character will never get to drive. Your choice. I imagine you don't have drive, so probably athletics.
Yeah, I mean,
Challenge
not that
2.
my athletics is great either, but
That's a -2.
He face planted right off the bat.
what did I rolled like yeah, you know what? I'm going to spend a token
What'd you roll?
and
oh,
a -3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to reroll. And I'm just going to say we're going to use free thinkers are dangerous, as he's pretty good at. He's using the poles to try and like cross country ski, so he's trying to figure stuff out. So hopefully that this will turn out better.
It did.
It did.
You went from a -2 to a -1.
Not bad, not bad.
I'm going to take that. I'm just going to.
All
I'm
right.
going to take that.
I think the fatigue and stress it takes you to kind of get your rollerblade legs. You're gonna check the stress 1 box of both mental and physical for the next scene.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. And I'm gonna offer a compel to our boy Tommy.
Already.
What
He
you
just
got?
changed character. Give him a chance.
What do you got?
What do I got? Well, I think you know what I got. I'm gonna
Don't
compel your technobabble thief. You got your megaphone,
Uh-huh.
and what are you trying to do with it? First of all,
So they want to talk louder. I'm gonna make it as loud as possible.
okay. Well, you see some exposed engineering on the Iron Rose here. That is exactly what you need. And I'm compelling your technobabble thief to just kind of take it off for your megaphone. Or at least that's your goal, because I imagine Bill is keeping a watchful eye on you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I signed with the megaphone, I was like, I'm gonna take it back, but I decided he has the megaphone. He's leaving the ship alone. He can keep the megaphone. But now that he's hiding the ship,
What happens if I decline a compel?
You have
You
to
lose a
spend
token.
a fate token.
Shit. How bad is this bad?
You don't know.
Like I'm gonna crash this ship, aren't I?
You don't know.
and you'll have to wrestle Bill, because Bill's gonna stop you. Believe me.
So Tommy, okay, here's my logic behind this, my reasoning. Tommy sees these pieces. He knows that's exactly what he needs. but he also knows that McQuaid didn't want anyone messing with the airship, and the high belts he's kind of attached himself to tried to emphasize that. So he is going to like swallow down that bile. That like he's like, oh, I could do this. This is that. See, and I've got if I pull that particular wire and attach it to this vacuum tube over here, and then I get, and then he goes, nope, nope, no, no, no. We're being good today, Tommy, and I'm going to decline that compel.
All right.
I think that's a first.
I think it's actually a second. I think someone declined a compel last session. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Either way.
Either or, it was a nice decline.
Tommy's
Thank
first compel was a decline. All right, it's a brand new Vegas character. All right. One of the gunners. You guys are maybe halfway to the JCC, and one of the gunners says, "Captain, we've got a problem." And he's shouting over the roar of wind and engine because you guys are just open to the wind, and it's buffering you guys. And he's on the starboard side, and he points out. And Helena looks out, and she pulls out a spyglass, and she whips it out, and she closes it real fast, and she turns to one of her crew members who has like a bundle of flags, and he's like, "We gotta tell the other." She says, "We gotta tell the other dirigible. We've got incoming dragonflies."
And would Bill have seen the new dragonflies?
So, Bill, you rush over to the railing to look out to the starboard side, and you can see a half dozen massive dragonflies. And these are bigger than horses.
So Bill, being the
Actually, I'm going to cut you off right there. So
Sure,
you
go.
see these 6 dragonflies are gunning straight for your dirigibles, and that's where we're going to go on our break.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right,
Perfect.
so we're going to go on a hopefully roughly 15-minute break, and fingers crossed, Chuck will be back. That'd be great. And hopefully I'll have enough time to make Tommy's placard. Depends how long the toddler gives me. So, at that, we are going on our break. We'll be back at sometime... let's just say sometime before past.
Sounds good.
And, so we got some more... we got an hour and a half more of Neosoma. We're going to see what happens with these dragonflies. Stick around, and we'll be right back.